So, Mr. Elias, first to you, please, before Honorable Moran. What motivated MGS to partner with Ambazonia and the Ambazonian Governing Council?
Yes, what I would say, it was a few factors. It is in the interests of the United States to support the Ambazonian cause, and we felt that we could play a helpful role in facilitating the relationship. We, and myself in particular, have been very involved in Africa, people in the African space, including working with people in the executive branch, the congressional branch. There's a great desire here in Washington to have more streamlined contacts with Ambazonia in order to expedite progress on the Ambazonian issue. And in terms of the Ambazonian Governing Council in particular, I would say the reason why I thought and we thought to partner with the AGOVC is you have an extraordinarily professional organization with extremely high quality people. Your organization is the premier Ambazonian organization. And again, as I've said, I'm very knowledgeable about the Ambazonian space, and both yourself and other people in the Ambazonian Governing Council are the utmost professionals. You're extraordinarily well structured as an organization, and that's important for our lobbying and what we're trying to do in Washington, because our State Department, our Congress, our White House, they want to know that they have a reliable, trustworthy, and competent counterpart on the other end. The U.S. government wants to work with people who are solid, people who we can trust. And that's the same that's true for lobbying firm too. You know, we want to represent people that we can be proud of and that we know have the capabilities and capacities to help run a movement as nuanced and complicated as the Ambazonian independence movement is. So I think it's a credit to both the interest in Washington, but also confidence in your organization, and specifically that I think has led us to this path to partner with not just the Ambazonian people, but the Ambazonian people through the Ambazonian Governing Council. I'll turn it over to Congressman Moran. Thank you.
Well,
yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, I can provide a little broader context as well. I happen to be Irish, and the Irish were taken advantage of by the British Kingdom. We finally were able to achieve more autonomy, independence, of course, from England, and I'm very proud of the direction in which the Irish have gone. But throughout, the Irish have been able to relate to colonial oppression, even though it's been in the northern part of the planet. No continent has suffered more from colonialism than the African continent. And as a result, there is no continent where there is a greater disparity between the human and natural resources of a continent and the actual fulfillment benefiting the people who live there. The African continent has been exploited, has been abused, suppressed, and yet its population has grown. Most of its natural resources are still in place. And so the 21st century should be the century where the African people acquire their not only independence, but fulfill a greater deal of their potential, because their potential is enormous. Their intellect, their work ethic, and their value as individuals is what needs to now be developed. And that needs to be kept within the continent, among the people, among the local communities, not sent north to Europe or wherever. Cameroon can be an example of this kind of independence and and fulfillment of opportunity. Right now, we have a division that only benefits the people who have directly benefited from the colonizers. This has to be rectified. I think it can be. Of course, I should say that in any conflict, the force that seizes the high ground invariably prevails. And that isn't just militarily or geographically, it's also morally. And so I hope we can be a facilitator for the people of Ambazonia to get together, to unite, because in unity there is strength, but also to set an example for the rest of the Cameroonian people that those living in Ambazonia are good people, want to do right, don't want to hurt people, abuse them, let alone be cruel to them, but they have a right to exist. They have a right to their own individual and communal identity. So that is our objective, and we want to work with you in achieving that objective, because I think if you can set an example for other people throughout the continent, it will have implications that go far beyond Ambazonia, that will spread throughout the continent of Africa, and it's about time. And so we would like to play even some small role in achieving that objective.
Thank you so much, Honorable Moran and Mr. Elias. And finally, I think it would be nice for you people to tell the Ambazonian people who is MGS,